You've written a book, Integral Spirituality. Now, what is that? How would you define it?
I think integral spirituality really, what it really means is that we just not been talking about how the world is divided to various at various levels. There is duality. Already starting from the body, the soul and the body, then between me and the others, then between me and the world, creation today, and between the world and God. There is a lot of duality here, and moving towards unity, a communion, is also moving towards an integration, where you try to transcend these dualities and bring unity, communion together. And so therefore an integral spirituality would focus on the totality, the whole communion, the whole network, or what I would call fullness and so on.
What images come to your mind then?
The images would be, let's say, much more the obvious image. One image that is very concrete would be, let us say, of a community, of a human community of people who are together, happy together. And one of the ideal symbols of a community, of course, is eating together, having a common meal, a common celebration. Or if you go to Asia for looking for integration, let us say, normally we speak about two basic images. The one integration where, let us say, when you are really identified with yourself, then there's a great sense of peace and contentment, and that image you have in the Buddha who is sitting at peace, because precisely he has transcended all duality and somehow discovered a certain oneness in himself, and that discovery of oneness leads really to peace and internal joy. That it's not expressed outwardly, but in the depth of the heart, it is. There's one image, the image that is peace. The other image we have in the Indian tradition is the image of the Nataraja, the dancing god. In the Shaiva tradition, you have a god who dances. There precisely you find the other aspect of joy, a joy that finds expression in dancing. So it's not just a smile, it is not, but really you dance, and that dance for the Hindu tradition is the cosmic dance, where through dance God creates. The whole process of creation is seen as God dancing. So therefore there you find, let us say, as a contrast to the image of the Buddha, you have you have a dynamic, a dynamism of dancing, at the same time music and the movement of the body. Same idea. So therefore it is fullness that is expressed in dancing, fullness that is rather expressed in inner peace. So like that, and let's say in a lifetime, sometimes you might experience fullness in this way. Sometimes you may feel like dancing with others, fullness that way. I think you should be open to different kind of expressions. Sometimes you might express it in a community, like the Trinity, or in the Eucharist, the Eucharistic table, etc. So therefore, the fullness will take many forms according to the circumstances of your experience. Though one person might prefer one particular way than another, etc. But I myself will be open to the different kind of expressions.
I was wondering whether in Hinduism you get the picture of the cosmic man, the purusha, if this can be compared to what Teilhard de Chardin calls the cosmic Christ.
Yes and no. In general, I would not normally like to compare these images from one tradition to the another, because let us say in one sense the cosmic purusha in Hinduism, he is rather at the origin of things, whereas that purusha is sacrificed, and from him the whole creation comes to be, etc., etc. Whereas in the Christian tradition, the sacrifice rather leads to a fullness. Therefore, the cosmic Christ in Christian tradition is rather in the future, where Christ will be all in all. For instance, St. Paul evokes this in the letter to the Ephesians, where the whole world is created in Christ. At the same time, the whole world is being reconciled, brought together into a unity with Christ as head. Or you have also St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians, in the first letter in chapter 15, where he speaks about Christ is gathering everything into unity, and eventually he offers the whole thing to the Father, and then God will be all in all. You know, that's the image. Therefore, in this sense, the cosmic Christ, Christ of fullness, you know, in the Christian tradition of whom also Teilhard speaks, it is rather a goal that we are moving towards. Yeah. Of course, the goal supposes that the Christ is already within, you know, moving us towards the goal. So the goal, you cannot really separate once again the goal from the origins, you know. Yeah. And yet, the expression of it is more, let us say, in the future, where he will speak about the omega point, where, you know, everything is united, etc., etc. Yeah. So therefore, in the Christian tradition, there is a direction towards the future, which perhaps you will not find as clearly in the Hindu tradition of the cosmic purusha. But the images are, yeah, they are similar.
You can say in this respect that Christianity is a cosmic religion too?
In this sense, yes. That means ultimately Christianity is not meant just for human beings. You know, it takes the best realization, of course, is in the letter of St. Paul to the Romans, where St. Paul says that even the whole of creation is yearning, you know, to become the children, for the liberation that is to come for the people. So in that sense, in this kind of a reconciliation that we are talking of, it is not merely people with God. No, it's not merely people among themselves, but the whole of creation is involved in this unity.